Boiling some water, boys. It's coffee time. So I just took delivery of a truck, and the agenda for today is to get it running. Here's the beast. I was just saying hey to a neighbor. So let's see if we can get this bad boy started. Alright, here's what we're working with. So, let's check this battery before I put the new one on there. Alright, we got two new 850 cold cranking amp batteries. Let's go get this bad boy started. What do you say, Hooch? Yeah. Alright, I'm here with my neighbor Joel. We got a noise. We just hooked up the batteries. I like to hear that.
Why don't you get your website up and running? You need to tell me how to look for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Nothing else, I'll give you a like or something. Subscribe.
Alright, let's see.
There she is driving a Jeep.
We got a radio. Oil change required. Alright, let's just let's put her in park here. Alright, let's just let's go for it. Nope.
Yeah, started on mine earlier this year.
So I'm just under the truck, checking stuff out. It's good looking under here. No rust, pretty clean. The people who installed the catalytic converter were very respectful. Just kidding, but I mean, you know, they didn't hack up anything else other than what they came to get, and they didn't screw up any of these wires. The starter's here. Wiring looks good to the starter. No oil dripping from the oil pan or the transmission, so that's good. So let me keep hunting around here. Alright, so I'm gonna get some footage of this fuse box and see if anything that I really need is missing. Alright, so I got it running. Jumped it off from the starter solenoid, which is just on the passenger side here, behind that frame rail. She sounds great, man. She's a runner. She's got a wiring issue clearly that's keeping her from cranking, but she fired right up when I connected the two posts on the starter solenoid. So some sort of a wiring issue that's keeping the signal from getting to the starter solenoid. Maybe a kill switch that was installed, because when you go to crank it, you hear the doors click. So there may be something there. I'll have to look at. But the plan here is to swap the cab and put a flatbed on it, and so I can take a look at that when I have it all apart. For now, I'm going to clean out the seats on the inside, and I'm going to use it to move a bunch of my things out of storage, and go from there. But I'll pick you guys back up in the next video. Thanks. What's going on, guys? So it's the next day. Got it detailed on the front and the front top, looking pretty sharp. Decals removed. On the front, I'm still working on the decals on the back. I'll show you the process here. So you can see the outline where one of the decals was. So basically you just take your heat gun, crank it up to the highest setting, and you just give it a 10-second hit, and then she comes right off. And you know, when I'm not filming, I'll be holding the heat gun in one hand and then peeling in the other. And so as I'm peeling, I'm already loosening the next one, and that works pretty well. If you don't do this, these decals can be pretty brittle, and when you're peeling them off, they can really jam you under your fingernail and then break up into a bunch of tiny little pieces, especially when you get into decals like this where they're like super sharp and small. So this is the process. I'll bring you back after they're all removed. So here you can see where someone tried to remove this without a heat gun, and you can see where I've been going at it, and I'm getting actually the whole decal off. So let's see how this can, let's see what I can do here. And that's literally 2 seconds later. I rushed a little bit, as you can see, and took a little bit of paint off, but I'm not worried about it. Just touch it up. Such a big truck like this, those little things won't even be noticeable. So I'm gonna keep going here. Got this one just about all removed. What do you say, Do? We just got this all removed. Easy work. Some paint came off with this one. Manual water valve. Probably leave that on there. Got a crack on this thing. Doesn't leak though, which is good. Cleaned up pretty nicely. Still need to clean the top of the bus. I used LA's Totally Awesome to get all the bird shit off, and you can see I did take off a little bit of paint. Let it sit a little too long. That stuff's powerful. It makes easy work of grime and stuff, but you got to be careful if you don't dilute it about letting it sit on paint for too long, because it will take paint off. So yeah, I guess since the last video I should update you guys. The initial plan with this truck was to move the rear axle forward, and then chop off the frame that I don't need on the back. Scrap the shuttle bus body, and cab swap the cab, obviously, because this won't work, and then just turn it into a flatbed. You know, I would get some money back from the scrappage, and then I'd have to lay out, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5K for the chassis, or for the cab, excuse me, and the bed. But after doing some research and just kind of like doing some testing of the truck and all the features, I realized that these things are actually worth quite a bit of money. And this thing's in such good shape. I'm thinking I should just sell it as a shuttle bus, because you know, looking at some of the websites, you know, comparable trucks, 2012 with similar miles, 154,000, with this body, a Glaval Entourage body. These things go for, you know, 160,000 plus, or 60,000 plus. And Dill likes it. So, what do you think, Dill? What do you think, Hooch? They're still not sure. So yeah, so, you know, I can come in way under the dealers on this truck and still do pretty well. It's got 4 rows of 4. There's 16 seats plus 4 in the back. Seats 20. It's got the handicap access in the back. Plus 1 driver is total 21, including driver and passenger. So this is a pretty cool LED sign that if someone was using this as a, you know, wedding bus or a party bus, they could have the wedding name, or they could have their company name and their phone number flashing across the front of the bus, which could be pretty cool. You know, free advertising when you pull up to the wineries and park. The thing looks just super clean. It's the 6.7 liter diesel. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to clean this up and then just list it and see what we get. I think there should be a lot of demand from, you know, shuttle bus companies, wine tour companies, wedding type rentals, and you also have the camper conversion aspect of this, which would be, I mean, this thing could be beautiful. It's so, I'm 6'7", and I can stand up in here and my head doesn't touch the ceiling. But with the rear back window, you could put like a kitchen sink back there, a countertop, you know, a big couch, a desk. You could have, you know, I think a bed right here, which would be pretty cool, like a fold-out bed, because you're not going to be sleeping when you're driving. You know, some way to remove the driver's seat and stow it under like the bed potentially, and then, you know, maybe like a bathroom shower right there. So a lot of potential for this. I just would feel, I feel like gutting this would be ruining a pretty good tool, because this thing's just set up. You know, all the door works, the AC is just like incredibly cold. It just bumps up there. The heat works. It's got surround sound speakers, as you can see, that just blares. I mean, just bumps. Lighting, leather seats. So yeah, I mean, if you were running like a tour bus company, you could even during the week, you know, remove the seats and rent it out to like moving companies. And with this power lift back there for heavy objects, I mean, it would make pretty easy work of some heavy stuff. So yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. And if it doesn't sell, wears out my patience, then, you know, there's obviously a much larger market for a flatbed truck. So I can always go that route. So yeah, there's the update for today. I'll keep you guys posted as I keep chugging along. Thanks for watching. All right, boys. Today I am swapping out the old Cat. Well, the old DPF. The Cat off it got stolen. So here it is, removed. You can see where they sawed off the Cat. Yeah, I disconnected all the sensors. Mostly, this is a 2012 F550 cabin chassis. And it does matter if you're doing this project, whether you have a cabin chassis or a regular pickup. I think with regards to the length. But this one I purchased off a guy in Missouri. He buys these from people who do their deletes on their truck, and then resells them to people who have their cats stolen. So pretty good business. Reasonable prices. I paid $1,900 for my cat DPF assembly, which I have mounted on two of the rubber mounts up in the front, and then I've got 4 more. So I got 2 done, and I have 4 right here in the middle. And once I get those, or kind of as I do those, I'll mount the rear into those 3 bolts. Those are fixed bolts. And there's a gasket on there that I left on there, as you can see, that I'm gonna reuse. So all the sensors I just kind of tucked up out of the way. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'll check back in a minute. Thanks. Hey guys, so just to update you guys on this F550 shuttle bus body, I've got the cat installed. All the sensors in there, and all the engine codes related to emissions are now gone, with the exception of one sensor which didn't fit. So that's really good news. I've wired up a push button starter, and I've got some insulation coming, some wire loom coming in 2 days, and so I'll run it up under the seat. It'll be a nice anti-theft measure for the truck, and that'll be good. I've got the top left running light inside, along with 2 rear running lights inside. These actually, they work, but you can see the plastic cover broke off, so I've got those 2 to be replaced. This will just wash off. It's just a little bit of decal residue that's left. And I've also got a rear backup camera. So this thing's sold. The buyer's already put down a deposit. So I'll get that inner fender back in, finish the sheathing, the wire loom on the push button, put the lights, the covers up, and install the rear backup camera for the buyer.